What's up, everybody? Jason here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And welcome to this edition of Driving in Cars with Jason. Now, I know I've been a while since I've posted anything. Just been really busy lately. Just hectic, lots of work coming in, and you know, life. Today we're going to talk about something people ask me frequently when they're just starting out with video editing or filming. You know, they want to know what can they do when they can't justify, you know, spending thousands of dollars on a piece of equipment like a camera, not knowing where this love for videoing and editing will take them. Meaning they're just starting out, they don't have a big budget, and maybe it doesn't make sense. So what I like telling people is, it's just, you know, smartphones. They are amazing these days. The technology that they put into the cameras are just, it's insane. In fact, I'm filming this right now on my Samsung Note 8. I know it's not the newest generation of the phone, but it's amazing. By the way, I plan on getting the new one in the next month or so. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. So here are a few tips that you can use while or when filming with a smartphone. It doesn't matter if it's Android or Apple or any of that stuff. The camera's a camera, and it doesn't really matter what you have in order to film. It all is based on you. So just remember that. First thing you guys can make note of when filming with a smartphone is to make sure that you put on your in-camera stabilization. Most of these phones now and their camera setups have in-camera stabilization. No one likes to watch shaky footage, or, you know, it makes people sick to the stomach. It makes me sick to the stomach when I see footage just jumping around all over the screen. So that would be the first thing that we talk about. And if you can invest in a little 3-axis gimbal for smartphones, they're selling those now. There's some of them on the market that are really inexpensive, $100, $150. Even the latest version of the DJI smartphone gimbal is, I believe it's somewhere around the range of $125 or something like that. It's ridiculously cheap. So if you can, you know, invest in one of those, that would be your best option. So first thing first is make sure that your footage is not shaky by using either a gimbal or in-camera stabilization. So the next thing I'm going to talk about may sound a little silly, but I still see it. So I'm just going to put it out there. And that is camera orientation. So you want to make sure, in order to have more of a cinematic feel to your videos, you want to make sure that you have your camera in a landscape orientation.
Meh.
This video didn't have to look this way. It could have been prevented. Say no to vertical videos.
Vertical videos happen when you hold your camera the wrong way. Your video will end up looking like crap.
Believe it or not, some people still don't recognize that holding your camera in a vertical portrait mode is not very cinematic. In fact, you lose so much information of the surrounding area that you're filming that it's very hard to tell what is going on, and it's hard to give it that cinematic impact that you would still get with a landscape type orientation. So whatever you do, whenever you're filming, always film in landscape. You will definitely get much more of a cinematic outcome if you do that. I know we have a lot of Instagrammers out there, and we can still work with landscape. Just make sure that you use, say, maybe a grid where you can keep everything centered within that grid system. That way you're not losing information when you center that horizontal landscape footage in a square format of Instagram. I will add, however, that you can still use your landscape footage on Instagram with the incorporation of the new IGTV. You can just change the orientation of your file after it's saved to portrait. When you upload it to IGTV, it uploads the full video in its glorious landscape form, and when you watch it on IGTV, you just rotate your phone and it gives you the entire footage, so you don't lose any information in your scenes, which I think is great. I use it all the time. And again, you're also not limited to 59 seconds of footage. You can put up to, I believe it is 15 minutes worth of video at one time. So check it out if you don't already know that. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is audio. Though smartphones are known for having great cameras, they are not known for having great audio. So if you need to film someone that has a speaking role, or if you're doing a vlog, or if you're doing, you know, anything where you need to record audio, I would suggest using an external microphone, a lavalier, or even just a boom microphone on your phone. Just be known that Samsung phones do not work just by plugging in an external microphone. You actually need to buy some sort of adapter for it, or use a third-party camera app. Like I mentioned before, I'm using my Samsung Note 8, but I have to use a third-party app. I'm using something called Open Camera. You can download it for free on the Play Store, so check that out. But yes, definitely, most definitely, get yourself an external microphone. Next on the table is camera movement. So just because you're shooting on a smartphone doesn't mean that you still can't make those cinematic moves with your camera. So instead of just, you know, the typical straight view of something, you know, make sure that you use, you know, the dynamics between having a foreground and a background, doing things like reveals from behind an object. I like to use trees, or, you know, walls, curtains, anything that you can, like, you know, reveal your subject in the foreground. And it also gives a lot more depth to your footage, making it a lot more cinematic. I'm gonna go ahead and link below some footage that I took on my summer vacation this year, entirely shot with my Samsung Note 8 and a DJI Mavic Pro. Sorry, I had to use that for some aerial shots that I was doing, but for the most part it was done on my Note 8. So last but not least, I'm going to talk about lighting. Very important for anything, whether you're shooting on a cell phone, whether you're shooting on a DSLR, a RED, it doesn't matter. Lighting is key. What I would suggest is always trying to pick the time of day that's best for filming. And they call that golden hour. It's typically between the hours of 6 and 7, or 7 and 8, sunrise and sunset, around those times. That's when you have the least harsh light, and you get the best results when you're shooting. Also, if you're shooting inside, you know, try to use some external lights or additional lighting. Plan your light scenes and, you know, your light design so that you know exactly what you're getting prior to shooting. So set it all up beforehand. That's really all I have for you today. I mean, it may sound simple to some, but it is very important information. So take it down and try to implement at least 1 or 2 of these things if you are just starting out and you're using a smartphone to make your videos. Again, thanks for watching. If this is your first time to my channel, I ask that you just subscribe below. It helps me out. I really appreciate the support that you guys give me. So with that being said, take care.